Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up. Hey, good morning, everyone. Hello, I'm down here. Good morning. Welcome to J is for Justice. It is Tuesday, August 6th, 2024. I'm coming at you live from Studio J in Clearwater, Florida. Let us know in chat where you're listening from. And if you haven't hit that like button, now is a good time to do so. I want to thank all the moderators who are here. One-Eyed Flo just joined. Good morning, One-Eyed Flo. And you got Just Teresa, Incognito Potato, and Angie B.
Hi, Jennifer.
So we got a crazy update today. Oh, Feminem, what's up? She got the Sarah Boone going this morning. Happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Broken Crayons. Hello. Welcome in, everybody. We got a nutso report. So now this survivor, the mom, the one that was Baker acted, good morning, Dreamer, she's charged with murder of the deputy who died. The mom is charged with the big M word. I just went down to the Circle K and got myself a coffee. Hope you guys have your coffee as well. We have a press conference we're going to listen to. And we're going to throw up a poll as well because I want to know if you guys believe this, if you think it was like a crazy, fluke thing, like, because this woman said she was acting on behalf of God. Yeah, it's crazy. Good morning, Kansas gal. I guess we don't have to wonder where you're listening from. D. Lynn, good morning. Good to see you guys. Pouring rain in the mitten. It's actually sunny here today. It's hot again. I got a mess outside. I was cleaning out there this morning, thinking, oh, I'll get out here before it gets too hot. Dude, I opened the door. I was like, woo, it's humid. But I did get some stuff done. I had the reed fencing that looks kind of like bamboo-ish. Destroyed in this storm. Destroyed. So I have to take all of that stuff down. I thought she wasn't in the house. Wasn't she in the other property they first went to? Yes. Allegedly, she was trying to lure the neighbors so that her husband, Michael, could take them out. Good morning, Misfit from Tennessee. Yeah, it's crazy. So let's go ahead and start the press conference. Kentucky and Tennessee line. Hell yeah, Broken Crayon. Best of both worlds. Jill from Sweden, thank you for listening from Sweden.
One deputy was killed. Let's listen in.
Today is Mr. Bill Gladson, the state attorney for the 5th Judicial Circuit. State Representative Keith Truenow. Detectives Josh Mercer and Adam Basquette from our agency's Major Crimes Investigative Unit, and Sheriff Peyton Grinnell. We are here to announce that earlier today, our warrants unit arrested 48-year-old Julie Sopizio on an arrest warrant that was obtained by our detectives for her role in the murder of our beloved friend and co-worker, Deputy Bradley Link, and the injuring of our deputies Stefano Gargano and Harold Howell. Julie was taken into custody today at approximately 1:45 p.m. at Advent Health Waterman Hospital in Tavares, where she has remained since being taken there Friday night for treatment and evaluation. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Sheriff Peyton Grinnell to provide further details.
Hi, Sarah.
Thank you for being here. Before I get into the results of this investigation, let me pause and say thank you. Thank you for the tremendous support from our community, from our clergy to our restaurants, our citizens, our federal, state, and local elected officials, to all of my fellow sheriffs across the state.
Okay, so let's stop there. What do you guys think about them charging her with murder in the hospital? What do you think of that? Good morning, everyone just coming in. We are just starting the latest update on this deputy shooting in Lake County, Florida.
Thank you for your support. Our sheriff's office family is hurting, and all of you are helping us through this horrific nightmare. I can't thank you enough for the support. It is felt, and it is much needed support, so thank you. This is going to be a little long, but I need to tell the story. The Lake County Sheriff's Office received a 911 call at 1945 hours on August the 2nd, requesting law enforcement to respond to 38226 Brookside Drive, Eustis, in reference to a female in his yard assaulting people that were present and trespassing on the caller's property. This turned physical as the trespasser, later identified as Julie Sulpizio, began striking the complainant's wife, his father, and others. The complainant stated she was acting religious, accusing them of being sinners, and she knows what they did. They identified Julie Sulpizio as their neighbor, but Julie states that she is Helen under God's will. At 1958 hours, Corporal Owens arrived on scene. Julie Sulpizio approaches Corporal Owens with her hands concealed behind her back.
Uh-oh.
She was given a command not to approach and to back up by Corporal Owens. As she walked into his outstretched hand, this prompted Corporal Owens to unholster his taser, briefly pointing it at her until she took a few steps back.
Damn.
Two of the victims that were present with Corporal Owens and with the complainant in close proximity. During a calm verbal exchange, Julie Sulpizio states that they, meaning the group of people that were present there, were involved in pedophilia. She again claims to be Helen, and she asked one of the victims that she had battered, "Who is your God?" Julie Sulpizio stated to them that Julie is in heaven. She then went on to state, "You see, the thing is, we needed to trick Lucy, and we later learned to be a name she calls Lucifer." She then points at Corporal Owens and states, "You were one of them." She continues by stating, "See, we needed to trick the evil to come out." One of the victims explains that Julie Sulpizio wanted them to walk in front of her to her house.
Jeez, oh Pete's. Okay. So no, she didn't call the police. So this woman left her home with her husband, Michael, and their two adopted daughters inside. She walked down to the neighbor's house and got into this fight with them. She also was going to lure those neighbors back to her home to be ambushed, is what they're saying. 100 people, go ahead and add me on X. I'm not on there much, but I'll look for it. Sounds like the hot water pot scenario, says Rock. But how did this woman talk her husband and her two daughters into going along with this ambush of the neighbors? They're saying that the daughters were like brainwashed. There's been no calls to this house ever, Sarasra, ever. Except animal complaints. So I'm wondering if they didn't have an animal problem with the people down the street, because they were trying to control their dogs that morning, and we'll get into that.
But they didn't trust her. The victim asked her, is Michael okay? And Julie stated, "Oh, see, he sent me down here." The victim states, "Oh, did he?" Then Julie says, "Yes, my husband, my God." Julie Cepizio again attempts to convince them to go to the house to see. She states, "Yes, Michael, I am coming," and begins to walk towards Corporal Owens, which puts out his hand to block her, to which Julie pushes Corporal Owens' hand away. Corporal Owens steps rearward, raises his taser, and gives her a warning. And the taser emits a piercing audible tone and a flashing light as he points it at Julie. And she stated to Corporal Owens, "That's God's light," and approached him with her arms crossed on her chest, smiling.
Very
Corporal Owens
scary.
redirects her rearward, causing her to fall to the ground on her back, tells her to stay down, at which she resists. He ultimately holsters his taser and produces his handcuffs, applying control to Julie's right wrist. As Julie Cepizio states, she stated, "You want to play?
Oh,
You are just making me madder."
no, she didn't.
Julie on her back states, "Let's do this now," followed by, "I can feel him," and yells out, "Michael, Gabriel, Timothy, it's time now to protect my children." As another deputy arrives, the responding deputy handcuffs Julie. At 2010 hours, Sergeant Stevens and Corporal Owens arrive at Julie Cepizio's residence, which is walking distance from the original incident location, to conduct a well-being check on Michael and Julie Cepizio's children. Announcements are made at the door, and contact was attempted to no avail. Sergeant Stevens observed 3 individuals inside run, and that one looked at him as they passed the shut door. Corporal Owens also finds 2 small dogs deceased in the front yard.
No.
A loud banging,
No.
approximately 4, was heard but could not be identified or located. Corporal Owens identifies an open window on the east side of the residence with the screen kicked out, raising his suspicion about the well-being of Michael
I can
and
see
other
why.
occupants inside. Corporal
Okay, so 2 small deceased dogs in the yard. And then the screen was kicked in. So it makes sense to me why they needed to check on the people inside that house, right? The question I have is, if they were planning on ambushing the neighbors, did the daughters and the husband even know that that was police that were coming in? Or did they think it was the neighbors? They have not released any body cam footage yet that I've seen.
Corporal Owens asked for additional units to respond while he and Sergeant Stevens hold the perimeter. They believe that this incident may have involved a burglary or a home invasion of some kind.
There she is.
As additional deputies arrive, they are briefed on the details. Deputies positioned marked Lake County Sheriff's Office vehicles in view of the residents and activated their blue warning lights. Master Deputy Link begins making multiple announcements over his PA, identifying themselves and calling out to the residents.
So they announced themselves and called out. And it's really tough for me to see these guys having a hard time getting through this when they talk about Deputy Link. Super freaking sad.
Deputies, along with supervisors, attempted to formulate a plan to make contact with whoever was inside, which had not been identified at that time. Corporal Owens interviews the neighbors, which stated that they observed Julie Cepizio and Michael Cepizio exit the white truck and go inside around 1830 hours. Corporal Owens gets Julie Cepizio's phone number from neighbors, and the deputy attempts to call her mobile number. Julie's phone was not on her at the time of the original incident that I described, and it was believed to be inside the residence possibly with Michael.
So they did try to call Julie's phone, and it was in the house.
An attempt was made to call the phone, which went straight to voicemail. The neighbors stated that Michael said, "The next time I see you, I'm going to shoot you."
What?
While speaking to the neighbor's children, and this was a few days prior.
Okay, if he said that to the kids, why didn't they report it to the police? If he threatened to shoot the neighbor's children, why in the world didn't they report that? Maybe this could have been, intervened upon before it got to this level. If this lady was that batshit off her rocker. Julie, yeah, she's the mother. Mm-hmm. She's the mother who was Baker acted. But what the hell? Report that. If someone threatens to shoot your kids.
At 21:03 hours, Master Deputy Link, along with Master Deputy Howe, Sergeant Stevens, and Master Deputy Kessinger, attempt to enter the residence.
Oh, Lord.
While making announcements. They enter through the rear door of the residence, which is closest to the driveway, and appears to be used for ingress and egress. As they opened the door, it entered into a small laundry room, which led to an intersecting hallway that led left and right. Master Deputy Link, as he approached the threshold of the hallway, advised he was going left, indicating to Master Deputy Howe he should go right. As Master Deputy Link crossed the threshold into the hallway, his body-worn camera captures several frames of what appears to be a male in black sleeve shirt or body armor, positioned with a rifle on the arm of a couch.
Oh, damn. So that's another thing. This deputy, the one that passed away, his body camera continued recording after he was shot. Y'all, it kept recording. These guys had to watch that and listen to that. It makes the hair on my arm stand up. Good morning, Cousin Trixie, and good morning, Barbie. Good to see you guys. Rock says, is this a setup to make all Christians look nuts? I don't know if I would associate this person with being like a Christian. I think this is like extremism. You know what I mean? It's really scary, Potato. No calls except for animal complaints, small town girl. As far as we know, maybe we'll get more updates.
Waiting to ambush deputies. Master Deputy Link does not see this, as he is focused on moving left and the camera's pointing straight. But as he's focused on moving left, as he indicated, and he enters the hallway with his back to the suspect, believed to be Michael Sopizio. Multiple gunshots were fired, likely rifle rounds, from the area that the suspect occupied, striking Master Deputy Link in the back, causing him to turn and fall. Master Deputy Link is struck multiple times and attempts to suppress the threat with gunfire. During this event, Master Deputy Howe is also struck in the wrist from a projectile that came from the area of where Michael Sopizio was positioned. Master Deputy Howe, Sergeant Stevens, and Master Deputy Kessinger were forced to retreat out of the residence. Master Deputy Link was immobilized, suffering multiple gunshot wounds, and he attempts to crawl on his back to cover, but was unsuccessful.
Oh my God.
Master Deputy Link had exhausted all rounds in his duty weapon. And hearing his ID being called over the radio, moves his hands in what appears to be an attempt to respond to the radio, but was unsuccessful. Master Deputy Link was shot at several more times, and it appeared that he was struck by additional rounds. someone within the residence began shooting at deputies outside, which moved to cover and in turn returned fire. Master Deputy Howe was extracted from the scene and transported to the hospital. Additional resources were requested, as well as additional deputies. While waiting for additional law enforcement, deputies and supervisors on scene attempted to negotiate with the suspects to release Master Deputy Link.
Oh,
but
man.
the suspects refused.
Oh my God. Hold on.
Master Deputy Link's body.
They were negotiating the release of the dead deputy's body. Y'all, this is fucking awful. But you know what? Her trial is in Florida. We can follow her trial and her case. Angie B just gifted a membership in Kansas, gal. Got it. Thank you so much, Angie in Kansas. Make sure you thank Angie B for that wonderful gift. That is very generous of you. Brian Apple Snapple, good morning.
One camera continuously recorded audio and video from within the residence facing up towards the ceiling. At 21:24 hours, a female yells from within the residence as she racks a firearm and states,
listen.
"My king will kill all of you. You are Lucifer's children." This was in response to deputies yelling for Master Deputy Link to crawl to them.
Okay, so one of the daughters racked her firearm and said, "My king will kill all of you." Crazy. So these girls were brainwashed into believing this as well.
Deputies yelling for Master Deputy Link to crawl to them. That's what they responded back with as we were asking Link to crawl to us. The deputies now cannot see Master Deputy Link, and his location within the residence is unknown. At 21:26 hours, Master Deputy Gargano, Master Deputy Green, Corporal Palmer, and Master Deputy LeBrecq, all members of our SWAT team, arrive on scene and organize a plan to rescue Master Deputy Link. Master Deputy Gargano was lead in using a ballistic shield as cover while moving through the laundry room into the threshold of the hallway. He was using a ballistic shield as cover as he was moving through the laundry room. As he approached the threshold, a volley of gunfire erupted from within the residence towards those deputies, in addition to deputies outside as well. Master Deputy Gargano was shot through the wall multiple times
Damn.
by a high caliber round, causing him to be incapacitated. Master Deputy Green, Corporal Palmer, and Master Deputy LeBrecq extracted Master Deputy Gargano, which had been shot multiple times to cover and were actively being engaged by the suspects from within the residence as they were doing this. Heroes. Master Deputy Gargano was extracted from the scene, transported to CFR Sanford as a trauma alert in critical condition. Later, as SWAT is getting into position, a female could be heard mentioning suicide. This was captured on Master Deputy Link's body-worn camera.
Wow.
The racking and reloading of firearms within the residence could be heard, captured by Master Deputy Link's body-worn camera. 23:02 hours, 2 gunshots could be heard in quick succession, with a third one a few moments later. Our SWAT rook began to make entry into the residence, removing a large portion of the residence wall in an area where Master Deputy Link was believed to be. SWAT operators make physical entry into the residence. They locate Master Deputy Link and they extract him. Master Deputy Link is transported to an awaiting medical helicopter, but while en route, the transport redirects to Waterman Hospital, where he is ultimately pronounced deceased. And as SWAT cleared the residence, they located 2 females sitting on the couch with what appeared to be self-inflicted gunshot wounds to the head.
Good Lord.
These 2 females are identified as Cheyenne Sulpizio, 22 years of age, and Sylvana Sulpizio, 23 years of age. A male also located on the couch with what appeared to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head.
So they were all just sitting on the couch? I don't get it. So they shot at the deputy. He was down. The others retreated. And then they sat on the couch and offed themselves? Good Lord. I want to know what these girls' life was like. Like, did they have friends? Did they leave the house, or were they pretty much confined at home? When did that start? Did they go to high school? Did they go to college? Did they have jobs? Like, who are these people? And yes, the neighbors, we're going to watch an interview with the neighbor after this is over. But the neighbors, yes, they did know who they were. And yes, because remember, Michael had said he was going to shoot the neighbor's kids. I don't know about any kind of cult. That hasn't come out. They said they had anti-government. Oh, here you go, Texas Ranger. Let me play this little clip for you really quick. Wait, hold on.
Those 3 people had a lot of anti-government inside their house, and that those 3 suspects inside had died. But like I said, we did hear a lot about that family. We had heard that the family, the people inside, was a father and 2 adoptive daughters, and that the mother who had brought deputies to the home, she was Baker acted. We're still working to learn if there are any charges that were filed. But again, we got a lot of updates this evening, and those 3 people had a lot of anti-government inside their house, and that those 3...
So maybe we'll get more information on this anti-government thing, because they were asked at the last press conference, and they were like, what kind? Oh, literature. What kind of literature? They couldn't give any definites. Right. When were those girls adopted? It's very strange. Just like Chad Dorman, he was reading the Bible. Yeah. Chad knows what's right. Chad knows what's right. What is this?
But had a faint pulse. He was later identified as Michael Sulpizio. He was transported to ORMC as a trauma alert in critical condition.
Crazy.
Michael Sulpizio ultimately succumbed to his injuries and was pronounced deceased at ORMC. A search warrant was executed on the residence, and within the residence in excess of 20 firearms, ranging from high caliber rifles to pistols to shotguns, appear have to have been gathered and placed and staged in the living room area. Ammunition had also been stockpiled in the living room. A search of the house showed gas masks, body armor, ghillie suits, medical bags, bug-out bags, MREs, and bottled water just stockpiled up.
Pictures? I want
Throughout the
pictures.
residence,
I want
anti-government
pictures.
propaganda was observed, along with conspiracy theory-related media.
Wait, what? Anti-government propaganda literature. And what? Conspiracy theory related media? What does that mean? You're welcome, guys, for the membership. You're welcome. You're welcome. Welcome in. Take advantage of the Discord. But what the fuck? I want to know what the propaganda was and what the conspiracy theory related media is. Oh, Lord have mercy, Andy. Lord have mercy on her soul.
During her interview,
Thank you, Linda.
it was disclosed that Julie, claiming to be God, and often Helen, believes that God speaks through her. Julie stated that Michael is the guardian angel Michael, which obeys her, God's command. She states that she was trying to lure the neighbors to her residence so that Michael could kill them. She was not successful because of our deputies. At this time, I'd like to ask our state attorney of the Fifth Circuit, Bill Gladson, to explain the charges, and then I will be back up here for questions and some follow-up comments.
All right. Let's talk charges. So they're saying that it could be a death penalty case. She is charged with the murder of this deputy.
Thank you, Sheriff. Good afternoon. As the Sheriff said, my name is Bill Gladson. I'm the state attorney here in Lake County. First, I'd like to express our deepest sympathies from the state attorney's office to our law enforcement family at the Lake County Sheriff's Office. The deputies and what you just heard is nothing short of heroism. They are absolute heroes, and enough can't be said about how they saved lives that night. So this afternoon, my comments have to be somewhat limited, and the sheriff went into good detail, and he and I discussed before we came out here the importance that it is for the community to know, to the extent possible, what happened. Because it's important that everybody know what these deputies face every single day that they go out and they keep us safe. So with that, I'll tell you that there was evidence collected, there was body-worn cameras that were watched, there were videos, there were interviews, and for the last 48 hours, his detectives and deputies have been working tirelessly to piece together exactly what you just heard the sheriff explain. And we now have a good idea of what happened, and that resulted in the arrest of Julianne Sulpizio. So her counts right now are a total of 12 counts.
12.
In this kind of case, where one count is first-degree murder of a law enforcement officer as a principal, we have to go to a grand jury. So we have 21 days in Florida after an arrest to convene a grand jury and present this case. And then from then, there's 45 days that the state attorney has time to investigate whether or not to seek the death penalty, since it is a death penalty eligible case. So I need everybody to understand, first of all, be patient as you are, and we appreciate it. Understand that we in this office, along with the sheriff's office, will do everything that we can to bring justice to the families of the victims, to the families of Deputy Gargano, Howell, and Link, and to the people of Lake County, because this was nothing short of an ambush, and the evidence will show that. It's absolutely just indescribable, as the sheriff alluded to earlier. So thank you, Sheriff.
John, would you give an update on our two employees that's hot off the press while
Yes.
we're on the state of
Absolutely. So we do have good news to report on the conditions of our deputies. We've been obviously keeping a close check on Deputies Gargano and Howell and monitoring their conditions as they remain hospitalized. Deputy Gargano underwent his third surgery today, and the procedure went very well. Therefore, we are obviously hopeful that he really begins to show some good signs of progress towards a full and complete recovery. At the end of the surgery, about an hour and a half ago, the medical team was expecting him to be able to speak and communicate freely on his own when he wakes up, and he is now listed as being in stable condition. Deputy Howell underwent a second surgery on his arm today, and he should be waking up momentarily. He is also expected to make a full recovery to include full mobility of his left arm. And we just obviously covet everyone in the community to continue praying and lifting them up for just complete healing throughout the remainder of their recoveries. And we just received that, as Sheriff said just moments ago.
Thank you, John. I also want to thank all of the law enforcement agencies that responded that night. There were many there, federal, state, and local. The response was unbelievable, coming together for that event. But I particularly want to personally say thank you to all of my employees. I know you're hurting, but please know that you're loved and appreciated, and this community loves and appreciates you. and together we're going to get through this. With that, I'll take any questions.
Oh, here we go.
First, if you can help us with the map. How long was it between when deputies arrived on scene and when they approached Julie and that house? And then I'll start with that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, there was a little bit of time, obviously, because we were conducting an investigation there, but I'm sure we have that in our reports that we can hand out to you, the timeline. But thinking back, I can't give you specific right now.
That's okay. And on that note, has in her interviews yet Julie said why, if the target was the neighbor, they decided to attack the deputies as they approached the house?
I don't have that information unless the detective does. I mean,
Julie,
come on up.
so during the interviews, Julie expressed that she was able to visualize a person's soul, whether it be white or black.
Oh, Lord
and
have mercy.
Her job was to bring Michael dark souls for him to eliminate and terminate.
Dude, this is like some Lori Vallow shit. Black and white souls, light and dark. She was to bring him dark souls for him to take out.
In the name of Jesus, Father God, Lord.
Oh, Cindy Bobbitt says, is she a mental case that should be in an institution or prison? I don't know. Maybe they need to get her on some meds and see.
John Wayne Bobbitt's penis.
Sheriff, maybe this is a question for the state attorney. And by the way, our condolences from all of us at BC.
Yes, sir.
All of the entire community. How do you prosecute a woman who appears to be mentally disabled, deficient? Is she still overactive currently? What's the status? What do you do now?
So right now we'll do an extensive investigation into any potential mitigation, any potential issues that she might have. But it's too soon to speculate about what conditions she may or may not have. And, you know, we have to follow the evidence and we have to proceed where the evidence leads us. And those are things that will be dealt with at a later time, at a later stage in the process.
Are you concerned?
No, I'm confident in the evidence that we've got.
So, in a related question to that,
Yes, sir.
You know, it's one thing for one person to have mental disease. Okay. This appears to be a whole clouded household full of stuff going on. Was this, did you find evidence of drug use? Was there, did you find, besides anti-government stuff, did you find like literature, like devil worship?
So, you know, I'm not the best person to speak to that, but I would actually ask that unless one of the detectives knows in particular, that we probably shouldn't speculate about things we don't know yet.
Any drugs?
Yeah.
So inside the residence, after the search warrant was executed, we found medicinal marijuana. No other drugs were found inside the residence, just medicinal marijuana.
Detective, could you talk more about that anti-government propaganda and the conspiracy theory-related materials? What theory was that?
There was bumper stickers, handouts, flyers.
Come on.
Things like InfoWars, various podcasts. Nothing, no right.
Oh my God, he actually said InfoWars. Dude, Alex Jones just can't win for losing, Kenny. He can't win for losing. It's on Break the Case. Actually, you know what, Andy, if you go to my videos, in the description, I put Jen's channel. You can find the whole thing there. I put out a couple videos today. She's upset about that.
Writings were found per se. We're still going through a lot of evidence at this time, so we're still looking at it and looking for more.
Is there any evidence to show this family was part of a bigger network, or was it just an insular household?
So our federal partners are running that stuff down for us now. We don't have anything right now as I'm speaking to you to show that, but they're still running those things down.
John, you mentioned the update on Deputies Gargano and Howell. Thank you, by the way. Would either of you share, this is for you too. If someone knows them personally, would you like to share a few words about it? We haven't heard much about them, who they are, what you'd like the community to know about them.
Just like you. caring people, devoted to their job, selfless. Just love doing what they do. They love serving our citizens, and they're in great spirits. You know, they took action right away, and for something bigger than them, and that's good stuff.
Did the two adult children in the household, did they ever go to school? Did we look into their past? Were they?
Did the kids go to school?
By their parents?
So in interviewing, and again, this is coming from Julie, the children, I should refer to children, the younger adults in the house were removed from public school right around the time of middle school and placed into homeschool. Julie felt that it was best for them to be there so they wouldn't be exposed to other children, other beliefs, other structures.
Sheriff, at what point did Julie leave the scene since she was detained and taken into custody on the Baker Act? Was she already gone from the scene when the attack on your deputy started, or was she still there? At what point did she leave?
Yeah, I believe she was taken from that scene. I wouldn't say a significant time prior to the shooting, but she
before the
correct.
First shooting
Yes.
started.
Were there any prior concerns in the community of this family and their anti-government beliefs and just kind of how they ran their household?
Yeah, I mean, we had a couple prior animal enforcement type calls there, but we haven't had anything of violence or anything like that.
And Sheriff, I know that certainly on a larger scale, the FBI keeps track of everything from militia groups to people that are showing up on radars as potentially dangerous. Does the sheriff's office and most sheriff's offices in Florida, do they keep an eye on certain groups of people, and were these people on part of that radar screen other than the animal control incident you mentioned?
Well, I will tell you the first part of your question. We have task force agents assigned with our federal partners for that information sharing, as well as plugged into what we call our Central Florida Intelligence Exchange, our Fusion Center. So we do know that there are those entities that are out there. This group was not on that radar at the local level.
You're referring to them as a group? Is it a family? Is it a cult?
What I'd like to refer to them as, I can't. But we'll call them a family.
When we're on the children or adult kids, after they were pulled out, did they have any access to the outside world at all? From what you're able to gather?
So that's part of our investigation. As of this time, it doesn't really appear like they did. Not traditional things you'd have with cell phones. They didn't have TVs, things like that. So they were kind of cut off from the outside world for the most part.
And were they adopted by both? Were the two young women adopted by both Julia and Michael, or just Michael?
So, and correct me if I'm wrong, Detective, but Julia is the biological mom, and the father, Michael, adopted them.
Correct.
Okay.
When did he adopt them?
When you conducted the interview with her, did she show any remorse, or was she joyful? What was her demeanor?
She was joyful. There was no remorse.
And I will tell you, my Marine unit was joyful too, because we used Master Deputy Link's handcuffs and his patrol vehicle to transport her to the jail.
Is there any surviving family who could illuminate more as to who this family was?
I'm not aware of any.
So we've been in contact with the family of Julie as well as Michael. They provided some insight, but for the most part, Julie and Michael have been pretty much cut off from their family by their own choice.
Wow.
On the subject of Master Deputy Link and moving forward here, we'll be handling funeral arrangements and stuff, but are there plans for public memorial for him, or whatever the department might be doing to honor him permanently?
Sure. So obviously we're taking this day by day. In the last, and if a member of my staff can correct me while I was in the meeting with the state attorney if anything's changed, but I believe Master Deputy Link service is going to be this Saturday at 11 o'clock in Claremont at Real Life Church. And then there will be things after that. And so we will keep you posted through social media, et cetera.
Do any of the family have a criminal history?
The criminal history is very minimal at best. It's very historically in time. It's very minimal in scope. It's misdemeanor, minimal things happened a decade or more ago.
So nothing that would indicate that something like this could possibly be on the horizon?
Correct.
Is the funeral open to the public or just for family and friends?
I have not been given a definitive answer on that. I will tell you that it is our intent, if his wife Brittany is okay with it, and I don't know why she wouldn't be, to make that available to the public, as well as be able to do some type of live stream for it, for those who may be disabled or can't travel.
Sheriff, I've gone through a lot of information, a lot of detail here. I guess in the beginning, one of the first things you said was about this, being an ambush. Would you like to share, I don't know, maybe a closing thought with people at home who've been watching all this develop over the last few days about people who target law enforcement?
Yeah, something that staff and I and we struggle with. I can't explain the feeling you have of knowing you have a deputy sheriff that's shot up inside of a home and you can't get him out. The volume of firepower that even the rescue team, knowing what happened to the first two deputies, to form that rescue team that quick and go back in with a shield, that's bravery, okay? And they tried, but I don't know that a SEAL team could have got in there, to be honest with you.
On that vein, Sheriff, with the understanding that it's not illegal to be anti-government, it's not illegal to be cut off from your family, your household, insulated like that, it sounds like this series of events, there was no attempt, there was no chance to interfere or prevent it ahead of time, but is there anything on that matter that the community do look out for to prevent a repeat somewhere else in the future? Or is this just a situation that...
Well, it's cliche. We in law enforcement are always stating, if you see something, say something. And that's important. If you see something that doesn't seem right, call your local law enforcement. We'd rather come out and investigate it and it'd be nothing, and then instead of a week later,
Yeah, like the neighbor, saying, oh, Michael threatened to shoot my children, but didn't report it.
We've got another situation like this. To my knowledge, as of right now, speaking to you, we didn't have any warning signs that this family,
the neighbors did,
would do something like this.
Has Julie been informed that her family is dead, and if she has, what was her reaction?
So Julie was informed on the first day that her family was found deceased, and her reaction was that they're free and they're in heaven now. Later in other interviews, she would say things like her bullets wouldn't hurt her or them, but she didn't seem to kind of grasp the concept that they were gone.
Now that she's in custody at your jail, Sheriff, is she under a suicide watch?
Yeah, she'll be in protective custody, isolated.
As for mental health for your own deputies, how are you guys going forward? How are you guys doing? Are there any resources for you guys?
Yeah, so that's it's a great question, and we've already started that process. We have a partnership with the University of Central Florida. It's called UCF Restores. They've sent their people here. We started that process immediately through rotation of our deputies, and it makes me feel good when I see them. Yesterday when I was out there to just greet them, I don't sit in on the meetings with them. That's for them. But I had over 80 on the first day, show up out there. So we want to make sure that their well-being is good. There's a lot of heads hung low here. There were a lot of people called in sick. You know, we had to backfill some of our patrol spots the next day. And when I tell you this agency is hurting, we're hurting. But we're going to get through this. It takes more than just us. It takes our community, and our community's doing that. And I'm so thankful. Thank you.
All right. All set. All right. Thank you all.
All right, so that is the press conference from yesterday. I'm going to put in here what her charges are, Miss Julie. And we're going to watch a couple more videos that came out with some updates. Here is her charges. She's charged with first-degree premeditated murder of a law enforcement officer, 7 counts of attempted murder, felony battery, strangulation, and 2 counts of battery on a law enforcement officer. And they will probably seek the death penalty in this case. So here is another update from WKMG News 6 Orlando. Nothing that we know of. Nothing that we know of. No history. No major criminal history, they said. Have a good day at work, Arthur. Be safe out there. Funeral.
You're now watching the moments law enforcement gathered to escort the body of Master Deputy Sheriff Bradley Link's body to a funeral home. Sad day today as Link was shot and killed in the line of duty in an incident that began late Friday night. 2 other deputies were hurt, Deputy First Class Stefano Gargano and Master Deputy Sheriff Harold Howell. So to get you up to speed, this all began around 8 p.m. on Friday night. Lake County deputies were responding to a call in the area of County Road 439 near Brookside Drive, north of State Road 44. They were later told that there was a problem several doors down. That's where the sheriff says the deputies had been ambushed.
Look at the house.
News 6's Treasure Roberts leads our team coverage. She is live out.
That was how they got the deputy out of the house right there. They bashed in the wall. Because he was like in that area of like a laundry room or something.
News 6's Treasure Roberts leads our team coverage. She is live outside the sheriff's office tonight. Treasure.
Yeah, we learned more about what led up to the tragedy and why the woman who was related to the suspects who were killed is being charged. Julie Sulpizio is facing first-degree murder of a law enforcement officer. The Lake County State Attorney says this is a death penalty case. Lake County Sheriff Peyton Grinnell said Julie Sulpizio claimed to be God and that her husband, Michael Sulpizio, follows her commands.
During a calm verbal exchange, Julie Sulpizio states that they, meaning the group of people that were present there, were involved in pedophilia. She again claims to be Helen, and she asked—
Wait, pedophilia? What? How did I miss that in that press conference? So Julie went down to the neighbors and said something about them being involved in pedophilia? That's the first I've heard of that. None of the neighbors said that. They just said she was saying crazy stuff. You think so, Insomnial? I think she's going to be on suicide watch. They're going to watch her close. No, Rock, we're just watching some reports, dude. I don't believe anything until I see all of the evidence. I'm just like trying to piece this shit together. Just reporting it on it, dude.
She again claims to be Helen, and she asked one of the victims that she had battered, "Who is your God?" During a calm verbal exchange, Julie Sulpizio states that they, meaning the group of people that were present there, were involved in pedophilia. She again claims to be Helen, and she asked one of the victims that she had battered, "Who is your God?"
The sheriff said while Julie was at a neighbor's starting a fight and trying to get them to come to her house, Michael and their 2 daughters were back at home with a stockpile of ammunition and dozens of guns. Julie started walking back to the house, but Lake County deputies stopped her and arrested her. They then went to her home and went inside when they thought it was being burglarized. That's when Michael Sulpizio and the 2 young adults inside opened fire on Master Deputy Sheriff Bradley Link. He was trapped inside the house and died from his injuries. Deputy First Class Stefano Gargano and Master Deputy Sheriff Howe were also shot in the ambush, but were able to escape. We do have good news today, though, about the conditions of the other deputies hurt. Deputy Gargano underwent his 3rd surgery today, and he is expected to be able to speak once he wakes up. And Deputy Howe underwent his 2nd surgery today on his arm. He is in stable condition. In Lake County, Treasurer Roberts getting results, News 6.
Okay, Treasurer, thank you. Meantime, the Lake County community where this all happened is just reeling tonight.
Yeah, neighbors finding it really hard to believe that such a violent crime could happen where they live. News 6's Catherine Silver continues our team coverage, speaking with neighbors who are very shaken up about this.
Yeah, this is where it gets interesting, guys.
Shock doesn't begin to describe how this neighborhood is feeling even days later. Behind me is the home deputies tore apart trying to get to one.
Look at that. See, there's the washer and dryer. And that's where they went inside. And that's where Deputy Link was located, in that area. So they just took that whole damn wall out just to get him out. Wow.
One of their own who was killed in the line of duty. I spoke with a family who first called 911, and they told me about the disturbance that started all of this. Neighbors say they've known the family who lived inside this home for years, but Friday night, what unfolded on Brookside Drive turned deadly.
Friday night was really unexplained.
Just down the street, Michael Dedeker and his fiancée encountered a woman with their dogs. He says she yelled at them, then physically acted out.
My fiancée was right behind me, and she was trying to help me get the dogs under control with the lady out of my yard. The lady then turned around and struck her right in the face.
What was she saying?
She was Helen's God's wife, and that she is here to cleanse the filth with their bullets.
Deputies say the woman was taken
here to cleanse the filth with her bullets. Good Lord.
For a mental health evaluation and sent law enforcement to her house.
They thought they were going there to do a well-being check, and obviously that's not how it played out.
Instead, the sheriff's office says it was a nightmare scenario. Deputies at the door were met with gunfire.
There was the barrage of gunfire. You could hear the sheriffs from all the different running down the road all the way down because they're out of ammo.
Master Deputy Sheriff Bradley Link, the first inside, was killed. Investigators say 2 other deputies were also hurt trying to get him out.
We are all really sad, and our condolences go out to the families.
Doing the right thing, good deputy. Now here we are left reeling.
And trying to put all the pieces together after what they say was an ambush by a family of suspects.
They had stockpiled firearms, ammunition, and what they found as they've gone through this house is a lot of literature to suggest that they were very much anti-government, a lot of signs of paranoia, Armageddon type stuff.
And the sheriff is giving even more
Armageddon type stuff? I know he didn't say that the other day, did he?
Insight tonight about what his detectives learned when they interviewed the woman who they say is the reason why they were called here in the first place. The sheriff.
So yeah, here's the next one. Here's another update.
6:35 News starts now with breaking news.
An arrest has been made after a Lake County deputy was killed in an ambush on Friday. The woman behind us, 48-year-old Julie Sulpizio, was first taken to the hospital after the shooting, but she is now behind bars. Thanks for joining us. I'm John Brown.
And I'm Luann Sorrell. The sheriff says Sulpizio showed no remorse for the crime. Fox 35's Marie Ettinger is joining us live now. So, Marie, the sheriff just wrapped up a news conference detailing the timeline of this deadly shooting.
Yes, and we use the word detailed. It was incredibly thorough. The sheriff wanted to make sure to get out as much information as possible about this case so that the public understands what his deputies went through. He was tearful talking about this. It just wrapped up about 20 minutes ago, but he repeatedly called his deputies heroes, and he said he wanted the public to understand what they went through. So we did learn from the sheriff that Julie Cepizio, the woman we just mentioned, does appear to be the mastermind behind what the sheriff's office is calling an ambush. Deputies say she attacked neighbors and they called 911. We did actually talk with those neighbors today. They said this family has threatened them in the past, and they are not the only ones we heard that from. When deputies got to the scene, according to the sheriff, they said Julie was acting erratically. She told deputies she is God, that she's also working on behalf of God. At one point, she stated she wanted to trick Lucifer and, quote, trick the evil to come out.
What the hell? Okay, I just looked up their court records. She has a couple traffic infractions. One. She has one traffic infraction. She was born in 1975. She's 2 years younger than me. This woman's 48 years old. And then it looks like in 2023, they had a foreclosure going on. So we'll take a look at those after this video.
She tried to get deputies to go to her home. They wound up trying to detain her instead, but after they got her in handcuffs, they still feared for the safety of any other people inside the home, so they went to do a welfare check there. As Master Deputy Link walked inside, his body-worn camera captured Michael Cepizio sitting on the couch with a rifle, waiting to ambush those deputies.
As Master Deputy Link crossed the threshold into the hallway, his body-worn camera captures several frames of what appears to be a male in black sleeve shirt or body armor, positioned with a rifle on the arm of a couch, waiting to ambush deputies.
The sheriff did go on to say after that the body-worn camera also captured audio as Deputy Link was shot and laying on the floor. His camera was facing up, and that at one point the audio captured a quotation saying, "My king will kill all of you." That came from a female voice that we now know to be one of Julie Cepizio's daughters. Julie is in custody now, facing 12 different charges. She may wind up facing the death penalty. She did also later admit she hoped to lure her neighbors over to the house so her family could kill them. It was, of course, deputies who showed up instead. Inside the home, deputies served a search warrant after all of this happened. They found 20 firearms ranging from pistols to high-caliber rifles and shotguns. They found body armor, ghillie suits, bug-out bags, and anti-government propaganda and conspiracy theory-related media. That is the term the sheriff used. I asked him and the detective who spoke today about what that conspiracy theory might have been. They mentioned that there was some media relating to InfoWars, but didn't go much further into detail about that. We do have some happy updates on this. Master Deputy Gargano, who was deputy sent in to try to rescue Master Deputy Link, he was shot repeatedly. He just had his third surgery, and we learned he is now in stable condition. He's able to speak.
So, yeah, crazy story. But let me show you. Money issues can lead to a lot of things as well. Like, hold on. Let's get the court docs up here. It's nothing major, but when people have money issues, okay, here it is. So there's Julianne Sulpizio and there's Michael R. His doesn't have a date of birth, but I wonder when he adopted her children. And I wonder when they got married. So many questions I have. So this was filed on May 1st of 2023. Homestead residential foreclosure. And then it lists, let me make this wider. It lists the occupants of the home here. All right, there we go. So we have Michael R. Sulpizio, and then we have Michael R. again, and then we have Julia A. Jefferson, Julie A. Jefferson, and then we have Unknown Tenant 1, Unknown Tenant 2, which are probably the daughters, and then we have the J.P. Morgan Chase. What did she say about InfoWars? So they said, the cops said that this family had a lot of propaganda, anti-government propaganda. They were asked at the press conference what was the literature propaganda they had, and they said bumper stickers and something about InfoWars and other podcasts. Seems weird to me. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I mean, isn't it bad enough what she did, and with, you know, the whole God stuff, and I'm God's wife Helen and all this crazy shit? They gotta pick apart bumper stickers. This is from 2014. She got a ticket. She didn't have her driver's license. And that's it for them. There's nothing else in here. I don't know who Patricia is. If that's a relative, I don't know. But that's traffic as well. They had a J is for Justice coffee mug, said Dr. Melmo. Oh, no. Say it isn't true. But look at this. Speaking of bumper stickers, I couldn't help but think, ooh, God, that's a big picture. Hold on. I couldn't help but think of when Timothy McVeigh was at Waco and these pictures surfaced after the Oklahoma City bombing. And he was at Waco handing out bumper stickers. And this is what it reminded me of. Tim McVeigh and his bumper stickers sitting out front of the Waco compound like a little patsy. I know. Why do they got to bring InfoWars into it? It does paint a picture, but not everybody who listens to InfoWars is crazy and going to kill their neighbors. Trey thinks it's meth related. They said there was no drugs found in the home. Only medicinal marijuana. Isn't it interesting that he was sitting there in his piece of shit car, just handing out bumper stickers? Yep. Speaking out against the government, the little soldier that he was. It's crazy. InfoWars is Alex Jones. I think he was a patsy too, Rock. I think he was a patsy too. Well, yeah, Betty falls right into the same category as this lady. Speaking of Betty, before we go, this is the YouTube person that is harassing me, sexually harassing me. She's been sexually harassing me now for ages. And I've about had it. Because, you know, it's funny for a minute until it's not. Like, it's funny till it's not. So this is the latest, which all of this is being saved. There, that's what she had to say. I'm not even going to read it because she's so weird. Let's not talk about Alex. Let's not fight about Alex. Please. But we will follow this Julie's case as well. Yeah, it's so weird. Like, I'm really, like, creeped out by it. Ugh. Yeah, it's gross, huh? Yeah, I think I might have to do that, Potato. Because you can report all day long on YouTube and they don't do anything. They really don't. I mean, I've seen them terminate channels that don't do half the crazy shit that she does. I mean, I was just reporting on a story. Let me show you what's got her in a twist. Oh, and I want to share that video with you guys too from Coffindaffer. Hold on. Let's watch what's got this YouTuber in a twist today. The fact that Jennifer Coffindaffer had a lawyer on last night, got his opinion on some stuff. Here's one short.
Reverse roles, because that's what a judge is going to do. And the judge is going to look at someone and say, hey.
Hold on. I got to get you guys up on the screen here. Let's get Timothy out of there. Right here. There we go. These videos have her in a twist today. Plus tomorrow or 2 days from now, she's supposed to be in court. And if she doesn't go, she's screwed. Dude, Rock, I don't know. I'd like to know more about the allegations against the neighbors about that.
This family has suffered a crime. Their child is missing. A bad thing happened. What is the public doing to them? And what are the specific actions that are being complained about when it comes to something like a protective order?
Terry Bowersox. Terry Bowersox, right there. Came up and decided to take my plate. Why are you taking my license plate?
Why are you filming me?
Because you came by me, Mr. Bowersox.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm in a public place. Yes. Why are you harassing me and following me? Why are you harassing me and following me when I'm conducting business?
And if your job, whether you want to call it a job, is to gain clicks through saying whatever is possible, I'm going to find that harassing, especially if you're doing it with a pecuniary intent where you're making any kind of money. And that's really where I get wound up against some of these people on the inner tubes.
YouTubers and TikTokers nationwide have covered nearly every step. But now, Sebastian's mom, Katie Proudfoot, indicates it's gone too far. In a legal filing for an order of protection, Katie says Andra Griffin, also known by her YouTube name of Bullhorn Betty, accused the family of harming their son while, quote, inciting the public and her followers to aid her in stalking. Katie calls the YouTuber, quote, dangerous. Each of Bullhorn Betty's YouTube videos will be summarized for the DA's office. Until that time, a temporary restraining order says Andra cannot stalk or come within 100 feet of Katie or her home.
Recently, they have tried to put in an order of protection against Bullhorn Betty, who is a YouTuber. She's been involved in a lot of cases. And the point is she's gone to their campsite. I've seen a lot of the footage. She's gone by their house. She certainly is doing this, I think, as a boots on the ground YouTuber. There's a lot of them out there that are trying to show people, look, he's lying. He says he's here, but he's really not here, blah, 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 blah. What do you think about this order that she's trying to get? And what do you think about social media, YouTubers and so forth doing this sort of action?
So it's as nuanced and multifaceted as you can get. I'm a huge fan of citizen journalism. Citizens are really the best witnesses for what happens in life, and they're a necessary part because they're the corpus that makes up our communities.
So I think she's going to take this right here. I think she's going to take this right here and say, oh, yeah, he's supporting me and blah, blah, blah. But wait, he says, but this is crossing a line.
So you have to have their involvement. In a more involved community, the better. I wish everybody could name their local judges. I just wish they didn't name them because of the mistakes that the judges had made. I think everybody should know who their chief of police is, just not because they kept on some people that probably shouldn't be cops anymore. People really should be involved in their community. Unfortunately, this is not what's happening with where the line is between community organizers and interested notable people and the outright harassment of private people. That's a tough line to draw. And I've seen it in lots of different cases, and I've seen all the different justifications. Oh, I'm just the press invest. I'm just a private concerned citizen about these dangerous people in my community. Reverse roles, because that's what a judge is going to do. And a judge is going to look at someone and say, hey, this family has suffered a crime. Their child is missing. A bad thing happened. What is the public doing to them? And what are the specific actions that are being complained about when it comes to something like a protective order?
Terry Bowersox. Terry Bowersox, right there. Came up and decided to take my plate on. So you want to know who's harassing who out here? The proof is in the pudding. The Bowersox and the Proudfoots are the ones coming and harassing people. That right there, my friend, is Terry Bowersox. Came by and took a picture. Why are you taking my license plate?
Why are you filming me?
Because you came by and filmed me, Mr. Bowersox.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm in a public place.
Yes,
why are you harassing me and following me?
Why
are you harassing me and following me when I'm conducting business?
How can I be following you?
You just were in the plaza. You've been following me, sir. You guys have been harassing me and threatening me for 2 days.
Prove it.
I am. Right here, sir. Right here, sir.
Is anybody surprised that the Bowersox requested a protection order?
Prove it? Yeah, I did just prove it, asshole. Better go through that fucking light. Fuck with me. I don't need violence. I'll capture you on film. Prove it? There it is. Who's following? Who's stalking? Who's harassing? Now, you guys got yourself a lawsuit, Mr. Bowersox.
A protective order in all 50 states is a civil order. It is a quasi-criminal order because it's a civil order that results in criminal sanctions if it's violated. And remember how most of them are going to be couched. It's couched from what the listener, the petitioner who asked for that order, how they feel. Not the intent of the actor being complained against, but how reasonable is it for the petitioner holder of that restraining order, protective order, whatever you want to call it? How do they reasonably interpret the actions that have caused them to ask for this remedy?
Right. So that's the thing. That's what I found so interesting about this. It doesn't matter. She keeps saying they have to prove she wants to cause them bodily harm and all of this. That's not the way it is. The judge is going to take into consideration how the petitioners feel by her actions. So everything that she's spewing in all of her live streams is just not true. And I mean, this right here, and then her saying, I'm going to have a pew-pew and a machete, this and that, I think, is enough. But God knows if there's more. They may have footage, showing from their neighbors. Yeah, Bowersox going through a red light to get away from her is proof he's scared. I don't know, Andy. It'd be interesting to see.
Going to stop, and everything that they've done to try to silence me is only going to make my voice even louder on this platform and other platforms related to the Sebastian Rogers case.
And she's using this evil will not prevail over the good of this world. These parents are pure evil. Along with Chris's parents, they lie about everything. This woman is going to she's going to land herself in jail. Yeah, Brett. This is for you, Brett.
What they did was totally stupid. It put them in liability. But more importantly, I'm pretty sure this is going to get around to Nina, and quite frankly, I think it might just be a little too dangerous for, poor little Faith to be around, the Bowersox home or the Proudfoot's home, I mean, it seems like it's a it's a dangerous situation out there, right? People agree. I mean, we got a dangerous situation here. You know, their lives are in danger here. You know, at both places that poor little Faith would be staying. You know, it just seems really, really bad. It just seems like a bad optic. You know, whenever you're trying to get custody or visitation with your child, it just seems like it's bad optics, right? So I don't know if she's learning about this or she will be learning about this, but it just sounds like it's awfully too dangerous for Faith. You know, I definitely would be very, very, very concerned about that for sure.
So now she's bringing a 6-year-old or 7-year-old into it as kind of a veiled threat. You continue, and you know what? Your ex-wife is going to, you know, say that your household is dangerous. Total manipulation and intimidation. Yep. It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
You know, with all the craziness and the crazy YouTubers threatening their life and stuff, it just seems a little too dangerous for a little girl. That's all I'm saying, you know?
She shouldn't be talking about little girls. What are those teeth? What the fuck? What am I looking at? Whoa. Whoa, that is weird looking. She does. She needs to sit down. She really does. I know you guys are concerned and everything, but I mean, this is like something that's never been seen, y'all. This is crazy stuff. And I don't think it's close to being over. You know? I mean, YouTube really needs to step it up in the true crime genre with this exploitation and nastiness.
Obviously, the household was a little too dangerous for a boy, a 15-year-old boy, long before we even got here. So, you know, now that things are heating up and there's these deranged YouTubers running loose in the community, you know, I would be, if I was Nina, I'd be so concerned about this, you know, her child.
She's bringing up Chris's ex-wife. No boundaries, Skinny. Probably an hour. I don't know, 45 minutes, an hour, Teresa. She's pretty. Thank you so much. Shell, are you here? Because One-Eyed Flo bought you a gift for being amazing. She bought you a hoodie and one other item, and I don't know what the other item is, but look. For being amazing. Thank you so much, Flo. That is so nice of you. I hope that they put a gag order on her for Sebastian's case. See you, Sadie.
So we'll see how this all plays out with the custody situation that's going on. But, you know, it sounds like it's really dangerous over at the Bowersox. Probably not the best place for Faith to be. It sounds like it's pretty dangerous over at the Proudfoot's house.
It's actually beyond drama now. This is criminal. You know, it's criminal. When people that are following, you know, missing kids cases. Oh, an FDO mug. Perfect. Thank you. When people are following missing kids and kids cases, and this is how they behave, I mean, this is criminal. This isn't just drama like, oh, I don't like her. Because I have never liked her. It's been 4 or 5 years. I've never liked her. But I've never talked about her. But now that she's committing crimes against the parents of a missing child, of a case I'm covering, I look at it differently. I don't care who it is. If it wasn't her, if it was some other asshole, I'd be reporting on it too. Oh my gosh, Shell. That's horrible. I'm so sorry. And then you've got Tony Mathis going in her live stream, super chatting $49.99, saying, Seth and I support you. What does that say, and how does that make Seth look? Tony Mathis does not stop making Seth Rogers look horrible. Looks better in claymation than normal. What's up, little Boston?
You know, according to everything that they're making statements about alleged.
And guess what? Going by their house, harassment, intimidation.
Driving on a public property, on public road with a camera hanging out. There's nothing unlawful about that. That happened over a month ago. It was when it's the only time I've been in the Hendersonville area.
It doesn't matter how long it happened. It happened, and then you went home and got a machete and talked about carrying a pew-pew in your bra. Yeah, we can't forget Tony. Tony in there. Seth and I support you.
Going online and screaming their name and attaching a whole bunch of people and frothing about, man, Judge Josh finds that pretty intentionally harassing. And if your job, whether you want to call it a job, is to gain clicks through saying whatever is possible, I'm going to find that harassing, especially if you're doing it with a pecuniary intent where you're making any kind of money. And that's really where I get wound up against some of these people on the inner tubes, is because
the inner tubes,
let's just cut to, they don't care.
YouTube.
They care about clicks.
YouTubians. And because of that, Jay, her harassment of you needs to be documented. It's all over YouTube, isn't it? It's all over YouTube. Her own mouth is getting her in trouble. And she's mad at me over these videos. I didn't even have to say a word in these videos. And she's telling me to shut my mouth and my legs, which is so freaking gross.
They care about explosive, salacious allegations not based in truth and digging up gotcha photographs and statements. And
yep, gotcha photographs like Katie with her stepdaughter. Doesn't matter what's going on in their personal lives. It's none of our fucking business.
misconstruing and mispresenting so that people in their ever hungering need to not be in trouble and to point out how other people are bad because it reflects on their own insecurities inside.
Right. Hear that? Because it reflects on their own insecurities inside.
They're going to go click on that stuff and generate revenues through advertising. So I fully support these families who are somehow connected to a tragedy, exercising their rights to have the state protect them from the inherent harassment and abuse that some scrutiny brings. But where's that line? And I don't have a great read on where that line exactly is because it's up to the petitioner. It's up.
So if she's trying to say, oh, he's backing me up. No, he's not. No, he's not. He's saying it's up to the petitioner, and the petitioner is saying you're fucking scaring them. So you don't have any common sense about you, so you double down. If I found out that I was hurting the family of, a victim or a missing kid or whatever, as a matter of fact, when the Watts told me that the video I did of Cindy hurt their family, I took it down. This bitch tripled down. Yeah, it's gross, one-eyed Flo. Rock, so they're missing, the mom, the bio mom and stepdad are missing a 15-year-old. The bio dad lives somewhere else. Right, he ran a red light to escape her. The church photo, the restaurant photo, telling her viewers if they have stuff, send it to her. If you're driving by, take pictures.
To the Proudfoot, up to the set, to get up there and say, hey, this is the person who's harassing me. This is the way the harassment is taking place. But I absolutely feel that these protective orders are valid. I'm already consulting and talking about different ways to go sue different producers of media.
I don't know what the fuck he's talking about now. What he's on talking about suing producers. He's on his own shit here.
Because of some of the stuff that we've encountered from certain people on the internet. Because guess what? I get complaints about that person said this. And most of the time I'm like, no, I'm staying out of it. There are a couple that are really above and beyond the pale. and are violating, in my opinion, and 12 people, I'll put it in front of 12 people. I'll ask 12 people, is that person, that content creator, are they doing this for legitimate reasons? Or are they intentionally harassing, abusing, intimidating these private citizens? And more importantly, are they interfering with law enforcement investigation? Because that's really what some of these people have done by going and talking to witnesses, by going and, trying to insert themselves before trial. You're now stomping all over the toes of law enforcement. And where there's a benefit, yes, the public gets to, get in there and investigate and show the press. That's great. You want to be press? Go be press. But if you're just a jerk neighbor who's harassing someone because you are going to present some piece of gotcha information, man, I hope you get sued into the ground, and I'll be the guy to yank your last pennies.
You hear that?
Away so you can't pay your mortgage. Because guess what you're doing? It's wrong. It's wrong. You are not the self-appointed spokesman.
You are not the self-appointed spokesperson. And if you watch this entire video on Jen Coffindaffer, they talk about having a PR person, but having someone with credentials, someone with experience. This whole video was amazing that she put out.
You have freedom of speech. That freedom comes with accountability and costs. Free speech ain't free. You can spend your way into the poorhouse if you free speech your way
into a lawsuit.
And especially when it's combined with physical actions. And now we have allegations of literally witnesses having drive-bys and organized things. I think it'll be fascinating when it hits the courts.
Hear that? I think it'll be fascinating when it hits the courts. That's why she's in a twist. Andy says the Proudfoots need to hire this guy. I agree. I love him. They need him on the case, says Juliar. Bayou says 100%. So he also talks about, let's go back here. He also talked about Seth and his YouTube channel. Check this out. Jennifer Coffindaffer really laid on the direct questions. Look at his face. Really laid on the direct questions about what's going on in this case right now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I had one more question on Seth, though. He recently started a YouTube channel. The reason he started a YouTube channel is because they want to get the message out. They want to keep Sebastian's name and everything out there. And he was tired of going on these YouTube channels and feeling like he was taken advantage of, that the questions, that they were just setting him up for issues.
Now, I think she's being very kind, and that's just how she is. But we know that no one set Seth Rogers up. Okay. I agree, Barbara Warren. I think so too, Skinny. I think Miss Coffindaffer has reevaluated her position on TikTok Tony. But we know that Seth Rogers was never set up to say things. Seth Rogers literally has diarrhea of the mouth. And that's why people don't trust him. That's why people don't believe him. That's why people think he might be involved. Because of the conflicting stories, the YouTube channel, the money, the shady people he brings in, the kicking out of the legit people. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And now you've got Tony and Bullhorn Betty's live saying, we support you. Seth and I support you. I think his glasses are red, Rock. Hi, Pearl.
What I'd like people to do is join the Facebook page. I don't have Facebook, so I'm not on there. There should be a post going out there so I can find out where people are, what states you're in. I don't have Facebook, so I'm not on there. I have a YouTube. I put a video on there today.
Put a video on there today. Okay. Let me see.
Yeah. Small little video. It's only like 50 seconds long. It was Sebastian at the park playing tag.
Yeah, I think I've seen that video.
I didn't see it.
California. Yeah, I posted it earlier today.
How?
I don't have Facebook, so I'm not on there.
What do you think about the father of a missing person having a YouTube channel? Just want your
Absolutely
opinion.
terrible idea. Absolutely terrible idea. I know how much people want to stand up and be heard. No, stop it. Stop it. That is narcissism, because you are just trying to satisfy your own failings about, I'm not getting the message out, I'm not doing the right thing, I'm not being the good dad, at the expense of your child's well-being, and you are exposing yourself to so many different things. You are making the eventual state's case weaker. You really are. If you're not involved, you're making the state's case weaker. I know you don't think so, but trust me, I'm a jerk lawyer. We can turn your words around.
You hear that? Everything that Seth says can be turned around on him. I think he's 100% on point. Put a 1 in chat if you agree with this guy. Put a 2 if you don't. Hey, Flo, 20 months. That's amazing. We're almost at a 2-year mark. Yikes, it's all going so fast. Mia, you can do it on a laptop on the web, or you can download it on your phone. You just have to make sure that you connect your YouTube in your Discord settings. Go ahead and connect those two so it recognizes you as a member. You guys agree with him? I think he knows his shit.
It's what happens. The more mess you add to the fire, it's people just throwing buckets of twigs every time you get out there and talk out of school, because he's gonna be mentioning the relations with the mom.
Well, he's also mentioned diapers and, masturbation, wet dreams, all kinds of gross things.
He's gonna be complaining about this person's fairness or that person's fairness, and that friction, that discussion itself detracts from what's really important, which is Sebastian finding him and getting justice for what happened, if anything, because as unlikely as I believe it, there's still theoretically the fact that a 15-year-old autistic kid just wandered away and disappeared and they haven't found him. I don't buy a lot of that. I think there's a little bit more. I definitely think someone else was involved. But the dad getting a YouTube channel, especially with the blessing of some media, horrible. Stop it. The
Okay,
world is not
question.
fair. Sit down.
He told Seth to sit down. He's told Seth sit down. Wow. One-Eyed Flo gifted to Sarah. Welcome, Sarah. Welcome, my friend. Welcome, my friend. He big time. He told Seth, sit the fuck down. And he said it's narcissism. Listen.
People want to stand up and be heard. No, stop it. That is narcissism, because you are just trying to satisfy your own failings about, I'm not getting the message out, I'm not doing the right thing, I'm not being the good dad, at the expense of your child's well-being, and you are exposing yourself to so many different things. You are making the eventual state's case weaker.
Hear that? If he has lawyers, he's not getting good advice. Let's just face it. He's always sitting down. Oh, man. He needs to sit down next to Betty. Maybe they are. Let me get you guys the link to this video. Or it's break the case. Hang on. I thought it was an excellent thing. I mean, I was intrigued like the whole time I watched this. I thought it was really good. And this was her live stream yesterday. Here is the link. So there is the link to that video. And, much thanks to Jennifer Coffindaffer for asking those questions. I'm sure she doesn't want to be the one. And this is an hour and 20 minutes long, and it's informative, guys. He's the bio dad, Rock. Nashville, I don't either. But he says he is, My lawyer. There's the link again, guys. Well, that's the actual video that I just dropped, so. He looks like he always said, well, maybe he needs to stand up. Flo, I want to thank you, from the bottom of my heart for being so generous today. You have been a member for 20 months. You purchased Shell, FDO mug and a hoodie from my merch store, and you've gifted memberships today. And I want to thank you so much. Flo is one of the most supportive, not just being a moderator, but just being a viewer. She's always been so supportive, and I appreciate that, Flo. 100 people, thank you for becoming a member today. I appreciate that, and I look forward to talking to you about your YouTube channel. And Nancy D, thank you for being a member for 2 months. And Angie B, last but not least, a member for 27 months. Thank you so much, guys. Y'all are amazing. You are really, really, truly amazing. So make sure you check out that video with Jennifer Coffindaffer. You can also check out my other videos. I am dropping videos. Y'all aren't seeing them or something because they don't get many views. I mean, I'm not trying to be a baby here, but it's just weird. It's really strange, especially when it's about Sebastian. So make sure you guys have that bell clicked. I don't know what the deal is. But I've got, some clips and stuff like that. No drama, just facts. Trying to piece together this, and we will keep our eye on what happens Thursday. But thank you so much, guys. And we are live. Let's see what we've got on the docket. I don't even want to get off here, but I have to. Okay. So tomorrow we have a call-in show. Hopefully this will go okay. I just want to get your thoughts on these court orders and things like that. It's a live call-in show tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then Friday, we're going to be listening to a recording of Sean Grayson, who was the deputy that shot Sonia Massey, with the hot pot of water. When he got in trouble at his last job, there's an audio recording of the meeting he had with his superior about what he did. So we're going to go over that. So make sure you're subscribed. If you haven't gotten notifications, maybe, unsubscribe, resubscribe, and hit the bell for all. YouTube has been unsubbing some people lately. I've heard that, Juicer. 3 people have said that in 2 days. Steve Robertson, I'm sure everyone is completely fed up with the drama. Not your channel, but over it all. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm over it. Every channel I turn on, I hear her voice. And I don't want to give her attention. That's not my goal. I just want to bring attention. And Trixie, thank you so much. I just want to bring attention to what's going on in the case. Let's see. Where is Trix? Trix, 19 months. I love you too, girl. Thank you so much for your support. Oh, the Sonia Massey case is awful. But it's pretty telling. I mean, he's an ass. And it's crazy, to even hear him make excuses for stuff that he did. Thank you, Tori. Thanks for being here. But if you are in the Discord, you can get notified there. And this is how you can bypass the YouTube notifications. Yeah, on a couple channels, YouTube has unsubbed me until I realized they haven't been on. That's weird. You don't get them here either, Pearl. Oh, my shadow banned. This happened to me before. Shadow banned. Us says I can't do Betty on anyone's channel. I don't care about Blowing Betty. I avoid any videos with her in the thumbnail. She is so annoying. I know, she's very annoying. Very, very annoying. Jinx potato. J is for Justice. I have the bell on. I'm not getting your notifications, so I thought it was for members only. And I can't afford a membership. Trying to find a job. My YouTube is super small. Lisa, you're good. No, I rarely do members only. Steph, thank you for being a member for 11. And it's been almost a year, 11 months. Thank you so much, Steph, for your ongoing support. Cece says, can we talk about the fabulous Creed concert I went to Saturday? Did you really? Kansas can't get into Discord. What's going on, Kansas? Hi, Sweet Sativa. You get them sometimes. Maybe you have to check and make sure it's checked for all and not personalized. Thanks, Rubes. Rubik's Cubes. And I think I'm going to do a live over on the other channel, too, this week. A member for 7 months, Mia, says she's not getting them either. Kansas says email us, and Potato says Kansas email, and she'll help you. Julie R. gets them. It's weird how some people do, some people don't. Some people get unsubscribed. Is the Sarah Boone case on now? No, that was last night, Cricket. She has another hearing Friday. If you missed the hearing, we played it last night. Here's the link, Miss Cricket. Oh, and some exciting news before we go. Cricket, there's the link for you. Nanya, you can get in. You're green. Join Discord, download the app. Connect it to your YouTube in settings. Pearl says, Jay, I have watched true crime since 1990 and never knew about these channels. I want faces and I found it with you. Aw. I'm glad you're here, Pearl. Don't take it personally. It happens to every channel. People need to unsubscribe and resubscribe. YouTube is lagging notifications by almost a day frequently. Huh. Yeah, Holly Bobo. I've watched some of that trial on YouTube just randomly over the years. That's a weird one. And doesn't he want a new trial now too? Kels, thank you for gifting another membership. Jessica. Welcome, girl. Okay, and Insomnia Owl has another suggestion. Check your phone settings for notifications from YouTube. Make sure you allow everything. Steph, I'm glad you were there last night. None here had to resubscribe. There is last night's live stream. But exciting news. Our friend Cricket, Miss Cricket Day, she generously donated some items for our wheel. So as soon as we make our goals, I know I haven't even talked about the wheel. Haven't even talked about it, but up above my head there, up there, we met our new member goal. And I thank you so much. But we still have 2 other goals, and one is the Studio J goal, which is through www.j4j411.live/tip. That's a way to bypass YouTube taking their 40%. Then we have the generous super chat goal. And I don't expect these to be met in any certain amount of time, but when we do meet them, we do a spinoff. And Cricket Day was nice enough to donate 3 items for me to give away. So we're going to do things a little different. I don't think we're going to be doing a wheel because there's too many names. So we're going to be doing it a little different. You have to be present to win. We will do it as soon as we reach our goals on the following Friday. So let's say we met the goals today. Then we would we would do our raffle on Friday. So it's going to be more of a raffle. You're in chat. You're going to win. And then you're going to go fill out your shipping address and everything. And it's going to be shipped directly to you. So I don't have to worry about it because it's been a mess. It's been a mess. And if you haven't received your raffle stuff from me, please email and let us know. Oh my gosh, you better get on the road. Be careful. Be careful, Potato. And Potato says, if you have a problem with Discord, please email the team. And thank you, Jay, for your awesome coverage of all these cases. #1 YouTubian. And you are the #1 YouTubian's sidekick. Member for 31 months. Thank you so much, Potato. And have a good day at work and be careful. Sparkcraft, 17 months. You get me through my work days. I love your channel. Thank you, Spark. And Megan May, 3 months. Thank you, girl. Oh, Ristacat, you overslept. I hope you had a good night's sleep. Sarah. It does take a while. It does. But thank you so much, Cricket Day, for that. That is so generous of you. So as soon as we reach those goals, we will do a raffle in our Friday stream. All right, Myron, it's time for our credits. Good idea about the settings. My YouTube live video settings were off. See? Be in Florida? You also get commercials if you don't subscribe to YouTube. That's the premium subscription, though. That's different than a channel subscription. You might have to unsubscribe to resubscribe. Sherry Rollins, what's up? Gypsy, 3 months. You have a blessed day as well. Sidekicks forever. Down your pants. You're gonna pull that out. Forever and ever.
Ooh, that will scare somebody.
Rubes, thank you for joining. And thank you for saying I'm genuine. I appreciate that. You guys all have a wonderful day. Myron, let's do this. Let's do this. Ready? It's credits time. Look for your name. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Live call-in show, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check out our merch store, home of the $20 t-shirts. I'm not here to break your bank. I just want your support. Peace out. Bye, Rock. So much for watching. If you enjoyed this live stream or video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on my latest content. Want to take it a step further? Bring it all in. And join our community clickers by becoming a Patreon or a YouTube member. You'll get exclusive access to our Discord server, special channel perks, and much more. Until then, I'll see you in the next one.
Click. It's real easy, man.
I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. Something real, but I'm feeling differently. You're making plans to get to friends, but don't wanna face the fact that I ain't got time for that. Staying up late, sleeping all day, dreaming about Cadillacs. Buying new shoes, hanging by the pool, sipping on Coke and Jack. Calling my phone when you feel alone, but I'll never call you back.
Thanks so much, Jennifer.
Everybody does that. It's okay.
Jennifer loves horses. Bye, Jennifer.